Hello, gorgeous love goddess. We are continuing our conversation about all things Valentine's Day, and I'm giving you reasons to think outside the box. I'm giving you ideas. I'm also teaching you how love goddess does things differently. And so recently we have talked about how I want for you to think outside of dinner and a movie kind of date night that is so boring and so overdone, and you deserve so much better than this. Today I want to specifically talk on how to select dinner for your royal taste as a love goddess. And whether you are going somewhere outside the town, whether you're going somewhere outside the country, whether you're staying at home, I don't think that really matters that much. Like, you could plan your dinner, and like, everyone needs dinner. Like, dinner is one of the beautiful, most sensual, most tasty things that we can do. Actually, eating food is one of those very sexy, like, towards like very sexual things to do, right? That's why you see bananas in sex commercials and whatnot, right? But dinner is just like that pleasure for the senses. We love beautiful dinners. We love the aesthetic. We love seeing dinners like served in a beautiful way for us that we just like can't wait to just like get our hands on, right? But in the same sense, we also are looking for the taste, for the experience. And so we're looking for all those three elements in our dinner experience, where not only the taste and the looks, and we're also looking for the experience and the person to experience it with, right? That is why I want for your Valentine's dinner to also be outside the box. And this does not necessarily mean I'm telling you go have a 5-course dinner at this super expensive restaurant and have a $400 dinner between the two of you. If that's not your thing, don't do it, because it's only gonna piss you off. You're only going to complain how much money you spend, and it's not your thing. And you can think outside the box on how you can have those elements: tasty food, beautiful experience, and beautiful presentation, combining at any other restaurants. It doesn't have to be the high-end, expensive 5-star restaurant, right? If you are enjoying multi-course dinners, that's wonderful, and that's your thing. I'm like, yes, girl, go do it. Spend the money on yourself. You deserve it. This is just like a very special moment for you and him together. And you will remember going to this really fancy restaurant, dressing up. And the reason why, high-end restaurants are kind of cool is because you don't just have the food, you have visual experience, the art of food, right? That's why there are multi-courses, because you get to taste many little things, but you get to taste a lot, and you get to see the art behind it, right? And so you get to have those finer moments in life, and you get to have a completely different experience in life altogether, right? And then you're gonna tell your best friend, oh, we went to this fancy 5-star restaurant, and the chef was at our table, and the chef was pouring the golden thing onto our onto our beef or whatever, right? Like, you'll have the visual memories of the experiencing dinner together. It's not just, hey, I eat my food, I chew my food, I fill up my stomach, and I go home. That is at all not the way Love Goddess does things, right? And so you are not here to be generic. You are not here to be ordinary. You are here to be extraordinary, and you are here to create irresistible life, because that is the kind of life Love Goddess lives by, right? And so if five-star restaurants and multi-course dinners is your thing, I highly recommend you go do create that experience. Do your own research first. They do require prior reservations for Valentine's dinner. They most likely gonna have some kind of special events, special menus, special everything. Make your reservation in advance for that kind of place. Chances are they might be booked out in the first place, because there are some women, some couples who think ahead of time. So no big deal. Research another one and experience this one next time. I remember for New Year's, I was a little late jumping on the New Year's wagon, and we wanted to go to this fancy five-star restaurant, and it's on the ocean front in Virginia Beach. And unfortunately, everything was already booked out, and there were no reservations available. So knowing that, we are now slightly better with things like that, and we put a little more thoughts into where, how, what, and how far in advance we need to book. So you might experience that we're only less than 2 weeks now from Valentine's Day, and I recommend you start looking into where you can have this beautiful, nice experience at a restaurant, where you have the tasty food options, where you have not just the dinner but also the experience. And by the experience, I also mean maybe it is a movie in the theater, like in the same, not so much. I said movie in the theater. I meant theater and dinner experience. So something like those medieval times. I don't know if you've ever been, but in Myrtle Beach, they have a medieval experience where you go watch a show and they bring you dinner. The dinner is, I wouldn't say the dinner was the finest quality, but we walked away blown away with the presentation, with like the performance, and we were able to sit and watch the performance while we were having dinner. So that was kind of cool. I would totally love to do that, something like that, one more time, because I absolutely enjoyed. But that is what I mean by experiencing the dinner, experiencing the dinner, right? Or maybe it's like dinner in the dark, right? I've heard there are these places, I don't know anywhere locally, but in France or in in big cities like New York, they have these places where you eat in darkness, and the only thing, you can't even see the food, you only taste the food. So that's very intriguing, right? So that is what I mean by the experience in the dinner. Don't think in terms of I have to go to my favorite Chili's restaurant and I'm gonna order the same thing I always order, and I'm gonna have and we're gonna have the same thing we had when we went last Saturday, but now it's Valentine's Day. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, this is your special day. I want for you to treat this in a special way, in a special manner, because it does matter, right? And with that being said, too, your food must taste good. Your food must taste good too. So that is what I mean by having an experience in your dinner. And like I said, for some it will be a fancy restaurant with multi-course menus, and for some it will be something a little more down to earth, but still just as fun, right? And so that is what I mean by making it special. Make sure, like, what not to do. Let's talk about what not to do. Don't go to your favorite La Portilla Mexican Mexican restaurant down the road that you're going every week on Saturday night, and it's your favorite thing to do, and you love the food, but it's the same thing you do on any other occasion, right? That does not create this aroma or environment of being special or being, exciting, right? So that is what not to do. Don't go to the restaurant you always go to. Pick something special or something you've never been to. Create an experience around it. If you cannot create an actual experience with the dinner, or if your dinner options are limited, create experience before and after dinner. And this is something we're going to talk on another podcast episode. Create experience before and after dinner, because that will make dinner just as wonderful to enjoy, and you're still gonna have a new experience at a new place. So go to a new place, right? So those things those things are not recommended you repeating. You want this to be special. Also, get something on a menu that you have not tried, even if you hate it, which I'm sure it's not going to be that bad. At least you can say, hey, I tried something new, and let me get something now that I'm going to like and I know I love, right? But the chances are that you're going to hate it not very high, so I'm sure you're going to love it. You're gonna love the new food, you're gonna love the new experience, and you're gonna have the element of novelty and adventure within your dinner choices. Get something you don't normally get, right? And try something new, experience something new, because that will help you have that new experience with dinner. Does that make sense to everyone? Does it make sense to everyone? Anyway, I feel like I gave you some really awesome ideas and really good choices that you can now go and implement. Go book yourself a dinner, or if the restaurant does not accept reservations, which I doubt. February 14th is a very popular day. Everyone's going out. Go book your dinner reservations now, and start planning the next something wonderful that you might want to wear for your dinner. And with that, I'm gonna let you go, and I hope you have a beautiful evening with your bae together. Mwah.